Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. This is one of my favorite lakes in all of New England, Jeff.
Yeah, I agree. It is such a beautiful place. Okay, if we pull off this road here in Center Harbor on the north end of the lake, I'm sure we can find a spot to put the canoe in the water. Okay, this looks like as good a spot as any. So we're looking for an island on the lake.
All right, wait a minute.
Okay.
I checked into this before we got here. Lake Winnipesaukee is a big place, Jeff.
Yeah, sure.
It's an Algonquin word meaning smile of the Great Spirit.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, isn't it? The lake has 283 miles of shoreline,
right.
78 square miles of water, and 264 islands. So, which island are we looking for?
Ray, today we're on the search for the very smallest of all the islands. We're hunting for a place and a legend called Becky's Garden. Hi, I'm Jeff Belanger, and welcome to episode 131 of the New England Legends podcast. If you give us about 10 minutes, we'll give you something strange to talk about today.
And I'm Ray Auger. We appreciate you riding along with us each week as we seek out every single legend in New England, one story at a time.
We do.
We love it when you folks subscribe to our podcast. It's absolutely free. And we love when you reach out to us.
We do.
We get so many story ideas from you. Feel free to text or call our legend line anytime at 617-444-9683. You can also leave our show closing on our voicemail for a future episode.
And we also appreciate you Patreon patrons.
Yes.
These folks kick in just $3 per month to get early access to new episodes, plus bonus episodes that no one else gets to hear. Just think, for less than the price of one draft beer per month, you can help us grow the show. Even if those $3 don't mean a lot to you, it means a great deal to us. So thank you. And if you can help, please go to patreon.com/New England Legends to sign up. And you can also find that link on our website.
All right, so Jeff, we're looking for a tiny island called Becky's Garden on Lake Winnipesaukee.
That's right.
As I said earlier, there's hundreds of islands on this lake. Some are huge, over 1,100 acres. Others are more modest, at 25 acres in size.
Sure.
So as we're rowing east from Center Harbor, I could see two small islands coming up on the left, and plenty of larger islands over there on the right.
Yeah, that's true. Those islands on the left are pretty small, just a clump of trees. But we have about a half mile of rowing ahead of us to find the one we're looking for. Okay, according to my lake map, it should be just ahead of us. Hey, there! Land ho!
Where?
Right there, maybe 50 feet in front of us.
What are you talking about? I don't see an island.
It's right there, Ray. We're actually closing in on it.
Wait, that?
Yeah.
That's Becky's Garden? Dude, I'm worried if we hit the island with our little boat, we might sink the island.
Yeah, but look a little closer.
Okay, this is wild. The island, if you call it that, is a clump of rocks maybe the size of a car.
Sure.
There's a bush or two growing out on the side of it, and oh man, that's crazy. There's a little house and an American flag on the island. It's the size of one of those fancy doll houses rich people have.
Yeah, welcome to Becky's Garden. Now, the first time this piece of land appears on any charts is an 1885 map, where it's still called Becky's Garden.
I can't wait to find out how this happened. Shall we head back in time?
Yes, let's do. But we're going to head back to the earliest days of the town of Center Harbor, New Hampshire. So let's head back to the summer of 1805.
Center Harbor was just incorporated as a town a few years ago in 1797. There's a couple of wealthy families who live in town, and one of those families includes 5 daughters. And out of all those girls, Rebecca is the youngest and most beautiful.
More than anything, Rebecca loves tending to her gardens on her father's property. She grows bright, beautiful flowers and strong, viney plants in different places around the yard to make their home the picture of beauty. Rebecca is so proud of her gardens, and her father, well, he's proud of her.
But Becky's sisters, they're a whole other story. Each one of them is spoiled rotten. They're unkind, especially to Rebecca.
Look at Becky out there, always getting all dirty in her garden. Ugh.
They're jealous and cruel, as siblings often can be.
Still, Rebecca pays them no attention. She'd rather tend to her pretty flowers. But then, one fine summer's day, her father's cattle escape while the family's off for a picnic. In the span of a short afternoon, the cows and cattle trample and eat Rebecca's entire garden.
Now, Rebecca is heartbroken at the destruction of her pretty flowers and plants. It's all ruined. Everything is trampled.
Her father, he hates to see Rebecca so melancholy, so he offers her a gift.
Rebecca, you may have any island in the lake that you wish.
Now, when Rebecca's sisters hear that, they're furious.
I want my
How come
island
Becky
too.
gets her own island?
Becky get everything
Oh
she
my
wants.
God, Becky, look at that island.
They each want their own island, too.
Very well. You may each have your own island, but Rebecca shall have first pick.
Rebecca, knowing her sisters and how nasty they can be, she decides she will pick the smallest island on the entire lake as her own and leave her sisters the bigger and better tracts of land.
The island Rebecca picks is so small it's barely big enough for a couple of shrubs to grow out of the rocks. But it keeps the peace in her family. Plus, Becky is a simple, humble girl. She figures the little island is just right for her.
Soon, word spreads about Rebecca's unselfish act. And that's when a wealthy and handsome young farmer comes calling at Rebecca's house.
Rebecca, I am so taken by your beauty and by your unselfish nature. Please, will you do me the honor and be my wife?
Rebecca agrees. And this little tiny island on Lake Winnipesaukee is known as Becky's Garden forevermore. As for Becky and her handsome and rich young husband, well, they live happily ever after. And that brings us back to today.
Okay, this is straight up a New England fairy tale.
Pretty much.
So we've got the handsome young prince, or farmer in this case. We've got a beautiful and kind daughter who's oppressed by her ugly sisters, and a sibling rivalry that leads to the meekest and mildest girl coming away with the biggest prize in the end.
Well, she marries a rich dude.
She marries a rich dude.
Yep, that's pretty much like the story of Cinderella. But I struggle with fairy tales, Jeff.
Why's that?
Well, like you, I have a daughter.
Yeah, right?
And the moral of this story is that a man is the ultimate goal and prize.
Yeah, okay.
A man can save you from your troubles.
Right.
I mean, I want my daughter to count on herself as she grows up.
I get that. No, I really do.
I feel like the way old Disney movies portrayed the helpless, beautiful girls kind of did some damage to expectations.
Okay.
The newer movies are doing a better job of making girls into real heroes like, Brave, Mulan, Frozen.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe it's time to let that old model fairy tale go.
Ray, you sound so cynical.
Well, I think about it.
Okay.
Becky's other sisters got their pick of the islands on the lake. Some of those islands pretty big.
Okay.
I picture them looking at Becky's choice and saying, "Keep your man and Little Rock Girl. I got the huge island all for me." I mean, who really won this deal anyway?
I see your point. Yet the names and stories of those sisters are pretty much lost forever. But Becky, we're still talking about her centuries later because someone named this little rock Becky's Garden.
I guess.
I mean, it's been on maps a long time. Shoot, this morning I looked on Google Maps, and as you zoom in, you see the words Becky's Garden. The map scale doesn't allow enough room to show the island, but there's the name right where the speck of an island sits.
I get it. I get it. Becky is forever immortalized.
Right.
I just wonder if this is the kind of story I want my daughter to hear, Jeff. Maybe we should have just skipped this one.
That's tough to do because these stories are so powerful. They speak to some deep part of our psyche, and we love and keep them around because in the end, the good people triumph and the bad people get what's coming to them.
Right. They get huge islands. Right?
Well, fair enough. I mean, but we love to dream of something better, don't we? And we know that it can come true because it has for others. Fairy tales give us hope. Plus, you've got this island out here with the name Becky's Garden. It begs you to ask how it got that name, and then you hear the fairy tale story, and the legend continues. Besides, some girls, they want the handsome prince.
Yep, and others want their own big island. We just don't tell fairy tales like that.
I love stories like these because you've got this real place with a real little house that's been in the news for decades and our own New England version of a fairy tale.
And it also does offer a chance to have a discussion about the kind of morals and values we want to instill in our kids.
Hear, hear. Now, if you want to leave us feedback on this or any of our other tales of weirdness from all over New England, head to our website at ournewenglandlegends.com or join our super secret Facebook group and jump into the discussion there.
We'd like to thank Eric Altman from Beyond the Edge Radio, Jim Harold from the Paranormal Podcast, and Megan and Sophie Belanger, all for lending their voice acting talents this week. And our theme music is by John Judd.
Hi, this is Brenda Songer from Hampton, New Hampshire. Loved podcast number 125. The bizarre is closer than I think.